Welcome back to It's Not Junk TV. My name is Jarvis, and for some reason, the derelict and forgotten instruments keep finding me. I don't have anything I found in the trash today. A little bit different. I was at the scrapyard, jumped down out of the truck. Something caught my eye. Now, this isn't a scrapyard you're really supposed to pick anything up from, but I did. Let's see what I got. Look at that. An old Hohner double-sided harmonica. The only thing I can really make out, something about chimes. But I was looking at it, and the wooden comb looks really good. I don't see any cracks, no breaks, no real dry spots like it's sitting. You know, I think at one time I read somewhere that harmonica players, when they got a new one, would drop it into a glass of whiskey to get this comb to swell up and for it to play right. But really what it did was dry this thing out, and it would end up cracking and splitting. But I think this is going to be this video's project. We're going to pull this thing apart, see if we can't soak these plates in some rust. What is that? Vapor rust. That's it. Not sponsored. But I do like the stuff. It works good as long as you keep an eye on what you're working on. I don't know about nickel plating this. I'll probably just end up polishing it. But let's carry on and see what we can do with this whole thing. At least I pulled it out of the scrap anyway. All right, we got this cool old thing here back to the bench. And I think what we need to do is pull it apart and see if we can't see what's going on inside. See what 100 years of built up and gunk inside of it's going to look like. It's probably going to be pretty gross. So this little, I think it's for people who do picture framing and whatnot. It's got a fine little, and this thing has got the finest, tiniest little nails that hold it together. So I'm gonna sit this here, and when I get all done here, I'm gonna knock it off into the floor and never see it again, more than likely. So y'all keep an eye on that, if you can see it right there, because that's what's gonna end up happening, but hopefully not. Them are actually little screws. I thought they were little nails. They're not. Oh no. Oh no. There's no way that's going to pull out, turn out of there, so I think we just keep doing what we're doing. There's two. I could have swore them were nails, but I guess not. There ain't much holding them in. Alright, there's three. There's four. Alright. What's it gonna look like inside? So, you gotta remember, one's under and over. They're opposing. I don't think it really matters which one. Just remember that. Start pulling these off. What's it look like inside? Alright, sorry about that, a little bit of suspense. Never hurt nobody. Let's pull this back. And there's the bottom one. There's the top one. And there's our double set of reed plates. Actually, it doesn't look bad at all. The comb's in real good shape. I don't see any cracks. I really don't see any real purpose of probably taking these reed plates off here. just go back and lightly clean them. Take a air hose and blow them out a little bit. There's one right there that's got a little funk. We may go back in. We'll show you how to clean those in the next segment. But as far as these covers, she's had a lot of playing. So what I got here, this ugly looking water is a little bit of a vapor rust. I'm gonna drop them right down in there. Let them soak for a while, and once they get cleaned up, we'll come back and we'll start cleaning up this comb. All right, I've been letting these soak here in this vapor rust for probably about 24 hours. I just pulled them up here and letting them sit, letting them drip dry a little bit. Didn't turn out awful, I don't think. For some reason, I think it pulled what I thought was it's just some soapy water, but it appears to have pulled off a good portion of the. Take a little piece of steel wool here and run over it. Yeah, so what I assumed was nickel plating seems to be coming right off. So surely they wouldn't have had some kind of paint on there, but it sure looks like they did, because that's not nickel. Nickel I don't think should have lifted off, unless that stuff lifts nickel off, which I didn't think it did. But they cleaned up pretty good. I think even the underside don't look too bad. Take this steel wool to it, pull off some of the stuff. I may actually take a little wire wheel on a Dremel and come back and clean it up even more before we polish it, and then we'll get into the polishing. But that's that one. That one ain't too bad. I should be able to polish that one up pretty good. This one, on the other hand, didn't look as good. Well, this one still had some corrosion on it. Again, I'm just going to soak it down with some soapy water. Let's see if we can get some more of this. See if it's on. Yeah, it's lifting right off of this one too, for the most part. Which is alright, because I'm going to polish the whole thing. But even that bad spot right there, that vapor rust is pretty good stuff. I gotta say I'm impressed. Now I'm still going to take I think I will take the Dremel and a little wire wheel to them and see if I can't. Let's see, there's still some pretty crusty spots. But I think when we come back, we'll start cleaning the reeds. All right, well, hopefully you can hear me. It's raining a bit. And my little workshop here has got a tin roof, so it makes a lot of noise. But I think before I go and clean those reed plates, I think we'll go ahead and see if we can put a polish on these outer plates here. And then I don't have to come back out in the rain again. So give these a quick polish. Now with a harmonica, of course, the biggest concern is wherever your lips are going to be. You don't want to leave any kind of burrs or rough patches or anything like that, because you're just going to tear your lips. So you might as well go ahead and figure that's where you're going to concentrate most of your. And you just want to be real gentle. You don't want to get all pushing real hard. This is really thin metal. And this is never going to look like nickel again. And if you think you're going to, if that's the look you're going for, then you have to get you one of them little home nickel plating kits and do that. do that yourself. That's a whole other process. I have never seen the point of doing all that. Uh, now, maybe if you had one of Hohner's that he handmade when he first started going or something. Can't say I've ever seen one. Don't mean they're not out there. Don't mean somebody watching this right now don't have one they're sitting on. But, yep, we'll just slowly start polishing this back out. All right, here we are. We're back here at the bench, taking a look at this reed plate and comb. A lot of funk right there. This side isn't bad. What we got to be careful of are these little reeds that are hanging up. We don't want to mess with them. We don't want to mess with their, see how they're bent? That's the tuning. So we really don't want to, we try not to mess with that. I think for this side, since it's not real bad, I've got a little bit of this Barkeeper's Friend kind of mixed up into a little bit of a paste. That one's all loaded up. We don't want to use that one. The one we mixed with, we just want to get a little bit of it. And I'm not trying to make these look like new brass. I just want to get any of the funk, any of the little particles that have kind of hid themselves away under these reeds. Since I'm not taking the whole thing apart, because I'm afraid that I'll never get it to go back together. It'll never seal up right. And I just don't see, because looking on the inside there, everything's super clean and there's not a whole lot of corrosion because it was sealed away, I guess. But we'll blow it out real good after we do this. See if we can't get any particles out. As you can see, this Barkeeper's Friend starts to pull that gunk up. And again, I'm not putting any pressure over here on these reeds. I just want to kind of pull some of this excess. But we'll continue on from here. And then when we come back, we'll see if we can't tackle this side and get rid of some of that disgustingness. All right, I got this side cleaned up. Really was just worried about the thick kind of crusts around the ends. Now it'll get wiped off one more time once we're done here and blown out. Didn't do anything on this side. This comb looks good. No, the reeds are sticking. There's no crusts built up. Because what happens is that the corrosion kind of builds up and it sticks and it gets along the edges and it causes the reed to stick. But now this side's kind of funky. I don't think just some of this Barkeeper's mush is going to do it, but it may. But I don't see any real heavy corrosion around the reed, so that's pretty good. Okay, it's taking off some of it. Let's see what's coming off. there's some pretty good funk in there. I don't know that this is gonna be the way, so there's something else you can do. I use a little flexible Dremel with just a nylon brush. It don't need to be super fast. You don't need a whole lot of RPM on it. You're just trying to get this crust off of here. You don't want to get over into the reeds. And if you're going to go anywhere near them, go in the direction of them. And that's what we're going to do for this side. All right, I've got these reed plates all cleaned up here. There's much polishing. I've got to go around the reeds, cleaned up all the corrosion. Well, I want to clean up this lip edge still. I haven't done that one yet, but just where your lips are gonna be, you don't want no crust or anything, so just come along. This barkeeper's friend on a Q-tip. And just work it in. Just like that, and then come back with a clean Q-tip and just polish it out a little bit. Now, I'm not worried about this whole thing being shiny brass. It's like I say, the less you can mess around with these old reeds, the better. I've kind of gave a preliminary test, and they all sound like they're in pretty good tune, so nothing really buzzing. So I don't really want to press it. All right, we get the rest of this stuff cleaned out, and I think next we're going to try to treat this comb, add just a little bit of an oil to it, just to make sure we're not going to let her dry out. And of course, because you're putting your face holes on it, you want to make sure you're using something that's approved for face holes. So that's what you're looking for. I mean, there's a lot of, you can use mineral oils, you can use all kinds of things, but I like this butcher block oil, and I'm not putting it on real heavy. I'm actually just going to apply it with a Q-tip, just like before, small amounts, and then take back off the excess. We're not trying to soak this thing down. It's not that dry, but just take a small amount. You can see that color already starting to come back. And I'm just putting an ever small amount on there. It don't have to be much. And then we'll get down into each hole. Give it a little spin. Like I say, you don't want to get in there. Don't want to get into the reed plate or the bottom one or the top one. I'm just gonna continue to all these holes. Here it is, all back together. Somehow didn't lose any of those little screws that held the end plates on. Figured I would. But to go from rusty and crusty and laying in a scrap pile to playing again. But I appreciate you guys stopping by. There's another one saved. It'll be available over on our Facebook page. We're going to start offering the things that I restore over there for sale. Probably be pretty cheap. So if you want to check them out, go on over to It's Not Junk TV at Facebook. If you've not hit like and subscribe, please do. Trying to hit that goal of 1,000 before the end of the year. Getting closer. And that's all because of you guys, and I do appreciate that. But my name is Jarvis, and this is It's Not Junk TV. Till I see you again, take care.